everyone looks at you like differently, so sort of the only people that really know you are the other people that have been through it. Half the nights I just freeze every night, like wake up, soaking wet. Yeah, I spent about 4 months in a tent. I didn't really know about Centrelink or Melbourne City's mission or whatever. I didn't really know about places that could help you out.
I was about 16 at the time. I was living with my brother and my dad, and between the three of us there were just always fights. And yeah, after those years of it, from probably 12, when my mother passed, I couldn't go back there anymore without feeling sick. And I had a lot of friends from school and friends' families that I started staying with. I hadn't deemed myself homeless yet. You know, I just thought I just didn't have a place to live that wasn't quite homeless. It didn't fit into my understanding of what homeless was. And then even spent years on the streets before I accessed a single service. Yeah, sometimes I struggled even to go into Centrelink to get paid. I felt so low about myself.
Not agreeing with mum and dad over and over and over and over again. Like, no matter how hard I tried, I could never get on with them. And they just kicked us out. It's a cold world we live in. Just got to do whatever you got to do to get by, and just not really worry about, you know, social morals and standards, that kind of thing.
I pretty much stole everything I needed. It's not like about want, it's about what you need. I didn't just say, oh, I want a packet of chips, I'll steal that. I was stealing like loaves of bread, hot chickens. I started this window washing and they gave me a $60 fine. So pretty much the next day I went out and washed windows to pay that fine back. They've got a roof over their heads every night. They got a bed to sleep in every night. They got food cooked on the table. They got everything they want. We got our bags on our backs, what we carry everything in. I stole to deliberately get caught so the cops could come to me so I could actually get some help from someone because I didn't know about Centrelink or anything.
The homeless person, when they first see the uniform, the first thing they see is every experience they've ever had with a policeman prior.
Most of them are alright. Most of them I can look at and explain myself. You know, they'll hear me out. It's just the detectives and that.
They like the power.
Yeah, they're like egomaniacs or something. They can't help themselves.
Like my dad, exactly like my dad. Just power, they just love the power and they just, what's that word, they take advantage of it.
I can completely understand how an authority figure who they feel has power over them, why they feel like they need to rebel. I totally agree with that because it's not right. We're all on a level, you know, playing field. We're all the same, and for someone to have power over someone else, it isn't correct.
Like I start nice and all, but as soon as they start being rude to me, I'm not going to take it.
And I guess as a young person, I've had dealings with police that have made me very untrusting towards both police and the law. I've been selected out of, you know, walking with groups of hundreds off the train stations, and it's just me who's been picked out. And it's been quite consistent. Whenever there are police doing checks for knives, they seem to choose me. It's not fair. I've never committed an assault or carried a weapon. It's quite violating when you're not someone who's doing those things. And you lose your trust for police and the legal system. You know, the next time that happens, the police are the last people I'm going to call.
Inherently, we judge people every time we meet them. In an ideal world, we wouldn't, but in our job, we have to. And it's, you know, it is from appearances, and it is from how they speak, and it is from how old they are and what circumstances they're in at that time.
Always ran from the police, even when I wasn't at fault. It's just instinctive.
Being in uniform when talking to young people can be a barrier. I probably sometimes forget when I talk to people that they do see the uniform more so than myself. I find when a young person may disrespect me or may become abusive or aggressive towards me, there is a reason behind it, but I must admit that it does get a little bit hurtful.
I think if they just understood that homeless people are extra sensitive, regardless of the facade they put on, if they approach them accordingly.
We need to assess situations and learn that the way we speak to people will quite often affect the outcome of a situation. Use aggression if you need to, be assertive if you need to, but a lot of the times that, especially young people, you don't need to be that way.
When I'm dealing with young people, I'm just myself. I try and just be me. I speak to them as another person, on the same level. I'm not above them. because I'm in a uniform. I'm at the same level. I'm actually there to help them, and I let them know that they're part of society as well.
Well, you don't have as many fears as what other people do, because you've experienced.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You've experienced a lot.
Yeah, I know I can absolutely look after myself now.
I think it's necessary to communicate and let young people know that they are worthy, that they can contribute to society, and that they do make a difference. Sometimes they feel like they're worthless because they haven't got a home or somewhere to live. They don't want to play the game. They feel like they've lost, and the game is to get more material wealth and have more than someone else and be special. But they don't realise in themselves that they're just like everyone else. It's actually made my police work more satisfying as a member of the community, as a policeman. It's more rewarding. Instead of charging people constantly, looking at paperwork and things like that, I'm actually myself, and I speak to these people as a person. It helps with, for me, in policing, like intelligence-wise, situations that have the potential of getting out of hand, to be able to stop those situations because of that trust that's built up between us.
I think we can learn just as much as they can learn from us. We have preconceived ideas about them, and they have preconceived ideas about us. And I think when you interact, and have a dialogue, those barriers are broken down.